Welcome to the Dirt World Podcast. I'm Jason Richmond, a fourth-generation road builder who started on a shovel and now serves as the Chief Operating Officer at BuildWit. This podcast digs into the infrastructure construction world, exploring the challenges, successes, and strategies that shape exceptional leadership and build a thriving workforce. Today, we have Nick van Loon and Michael DeRuijter of Magna Tyres Group joining us on the podcast. Nick started as a global project manager for exhibitions and events and now serves as the marketing manager. His team grew from 2 people to 6, and he is now responsible for the day-to-day support of all sales worldwide. Michael is the founder and CEO, and his vision and tenacity have made the company what it is today. He is responsible for setting up strategic policies, is involved in the buy and build strategy with far-reaching knowledge of the market, and knows many potential targets. Magna Tyres is known for its reliable tire solutions that cater to businesses worldwide. Their focus is on quality service and expertise in off-road tires, and they work diligently to address challenges and maintain performance standards. Magna Tyres aims to be a leading second-tier supplier of off-the-road tires as they continue to expand. Their commitment to building strong relationships in the industry remains a priority. Today, we'll hear from Nick and Michael about Magna Tyres and its role in the construction industry. Nick and Michael, welcome to the Dirt World Podcast.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. It's so excited to have you guys on. Where are you guys calling from today?
Well, I'm calling from the Middle East, actually, from Dubai. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
I'm calling from a small city in the south of the Netherlands, or Holland in other words.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, as we start to dig into this podcast, we'd love to just get to know a little bit more about you personally, kind of your, what's your story, where you're from, any hobbies. So if you can, how you got involved in the dirt world. So, with both of you on, whoever wants to go first, would love to just kind of dig in and learn a little bit more about you.
Okay. Well, I can start. I'm Michael DeRuijter. I'm 43 years old. I'm born and raised in a small town in the Netherlands where Nick is still living. And I married, got 4 children. My hobbies are my work, honestly. So my hobby is my business. Yeah. So I think a lot of people have the same hobby like me, working in their own company. I'm CEO and founder of Magna Tyres Group. Started it 17 years ago, or 18 almost. Yeah, in 2006 after my studies. So I studied, I got my BBA bachelor degree in commercial economics. My internship and final thesis was the project Magna Tyres. So I filled in my dream straight away. And I get goosebumps from it when I say it, because actually, I did a lot of internships before. I lived in Canada for a year. I worked at a lot of companies. Got fired at a lot of companies. I learned at different businesses, see how they operate, see what they do, and so I implement that in my own business. So in my final thesis of my education, and the second day after that, I started my business, Magna Tyres. So I got my diploma on the 22nd of March, 2026, and on the 23rd I started Magna Tyres. Yeah, so
That's incredible.
that's a little bit me. Currently, I'm living in Dubai. I emigrated more than a year ago to this fantastic place. It's the central hub of the world. For us, business-wise, it's also a hub. It's one of the hubs that we have. For me, this is a perfect living environment in terms of safety, weather, luxury, but also centralized point for customers and people from Africa, people from the east, from the south. The only little bit far distance is America. But I did the flight twice, and it's not that bad. So it's 14, 15 hours depending on where you're going. So So that's
Very
a little
good.
bit about me. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to visit Dubai one day. It's on my bucket list. So
Well, I think you could do a summit here, maybe.
yeah, that would be
Would be good.
fantastic.
There's a lot of construction going on here.
We'll have
Really?
our worldwide summit in Dubai one day.
Very good idea.
That sounds great. Nick, tell me a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I keep it pretty short, I guess. But my name is Nick, 35 years old, or young, depends on what, what you mean. Living in Waalwijk, the Netherlands, where the head office of Magna Tyres is also based. Working for the company now for 6.5 years. What you already said about me, started as a project manager for the exhibitions and events. We did like 10 till 15 exhibitions per year worldwide. So they needed, at Magna, they needed a guy who can organize it from A till Z. Since 3 years, I think I'm now responsible for the daily operation at the marketing department. And we just a few years ago we had 2 guys at the department, and now we have 6 people, including a head of marketing who is responsible for the branding worldwide. I really love soccer. In Europe we call it football, but we mean the same. It's really my passion. I have 2 small girls at home and a girlfriend, and that's a bit about myself.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Got a favorite football team?
Yeah, it's Ajax Amsterdam, and tomorrow evening I'm sitting in the stadium. So we also have a local team. It's called RKC. It's at this moment in the bottom of the of the league, unfortunately.
It's
But
just 2 games down the road, so still
there is a
32 to
lot.
go.
Yeah, we have a lot of games to go. But it's supporting your local, and the main club for me is Ajax Amsterdam.
That's fantastic. Very, very good. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your personal stories and background. Super excited to have you guys on today. Next, just want to kind of start getting into a little bit of the business side of Magna Tyres. Our audience is going to be listening, probably doesn't know a lot about you. So want to just ask some probing questions and, let you talk a little bit about your organization. So you started it obviously as the founder, but talk to us a little bit about, who is Magna Tyres? What do you do? Who do you serve? Give us a little bit of the history, kind of that business overview, if you would, of your organization.
Yeah. Are you asking me or Nick?
Either one, whoever
All
wants
of
to
us.
tackle it.
I think Michael can say the best about everything about the company.
Sure.
Well, as I said, this company is in its 18th years of existence. My family is they have a business in rubber compounding. That's where it all started actually, and that's a family business which goes back 60, 70 years. I say 60, but it's probably 70 already because we're also 20 years almost down the line. And they make rubber compounds for various products from shoe soles, floor mats, injection molding, but also for tires. And this is an on-spec rubber production. Their customer base, all the tire manufacturers in the world, from car tires to bicycle tires to industrial tires. And my family does this for multiple years. I worked there since I was young, when every free holiday and so on and so on. Came to when I was studying, actually start to work for a small company, which was in industrial tires. Yeah, long story short, our family is a compound producer, and to be a product producer, if that would be shoe soles or floor mats or tires, it would be a vertical integration. If you are a producer of raw materials and you can also make tires in this case, or you have the knowledge of making tires, why don't we make tires? Used to be appropriate, but these days everything's transparent. So I'm 3rd generation and didn't want to work in the company, so I had the opportunity to start my own business. My business started in America, actually, in North Carolina. So if these guys would listen to this podcast, they would know that I'm talking about them. But the whole idea behind was to fill in a need in the market. And when I started this business, and just before 2005, 6, there was a mega global shortage in tire products. So if there's a shortage, then every entrepreneur or every young guy or girl or whoever wants to be in business jumps on and tries to find, yeah, the golden answer to every shortage that is there. And well, my family had contacts, so would give me easier access than anybody else to these kind of products. And this predominantly construction and mining tires. So what if we could make those? If you could make those at that time, then you would fill in the shortage in a minute. Yeah, we could never do it because the shortage was that big, but I mean that's the perception that we had. So I spoke with my family and start this business, start pioneering in China or let's say Asia, find producers to willing produce our products. And at that time, there was only a possibility for conventional tires. So yeah, conventional bias tires. And these days, there's radialization, means steel belted or steel ply tires. That wasn't available besides a few major producers such as Michelin or Bridgestone or Goodyear, which are major brands in our segment. And but yeah, through the network we had and the compound knowledge we had, we just need a facility to build. And if we would have find a facility to build, then we could give the knowledge and the know-how. And well, we after a couple of weeks traveling in Asia, we found some facilities, and not all are as good as we thought they were. You know, that's pioneering in business. Long story short, we found a factory that was willing to give us production in return for know-how, and that's what we did. And so we exchanged a lot of know-how, and we're able to produce with limited knowledge from Asia our own products. And nobody could do that because we would fill in the missing piece. Asian people can copy actually very good. They can copy so good that the product even works, but if it fails, they have no idea where it comes from or what happened. And that's the added value we could give. And in return for that, we put a product to market since 17 years, built from scratch, built with nothing. And major question always is, how did he finance this? I was actually trading tires, buying and selling tires. And in those days, tires were prepaid because of capital intensive goods. If you have a tire for a Caterpillar 785, you know, a tire in those days could cost 60 grand, which today is maybe 25. But when there's a shortfall, the people would pay 100 grand. I didn't have money, but my buyers had money, so they prepaid me. In that matter, we were able to generate money by getting paid by our clients. All that money we made, or that I made actually in the first year, I invested everything I made in 2005 and 6 actually in my own product, investment in Asia. And we launched our first radial tires, which are 17.5 till 29.5, which is bread and butter for all construction companies. It's the major need. We launched this at Bauma 2007. And at that time, when the global shortage was there for earth-moving tires and industrial construction tires, yeah, it had a massive impact for everybody, because how the hell could a Dutch guy from the small town that Nick's still living in produce all these tires? Where would that come from? There must be somebody behind it. Well, my family was behind it. You know, you don't reinvent the wheel, literally, but you bring people together. So that's what I do. I'm a connector. So, you know, that's also the line maybe later in the podcast. But, you know, I bring the right people together. And if you have a family firm which has its footprint in compounding, bring them in touch with the right tire producers and be the person in between to connect it. And the result is a company we have now this year, $300 million turnover, 1,100 people working, and I'm rising. It will go pretty fast right now. So we have a lot of acquisitions coming. we're buying and building in vertical integration. So we do actually this is nice bridge because we are vertical integration of a compound facility, and what we do now is we go vertical integration to the end user of the product. So predominantly the people that visit your summit.
Incredible. What a story. I'm just taking some notes here and I've got, super innovative, creative, love the entrepreneurship, love the connector, love the family background. I mean, what an absolute incredible story, to go from idea in college to, a $300 million business is just, incredible. So,
Nothing is impossible. It sounds cliche, but it really is. I'm just a doer. So, I take risks because would you accept $1 million deposit from a client where you just start a business and they say, okay, go get those tires? And remember, and all these guys were telling me, Mike, go get these tires, get them tires from us. And I didn't even have a bank account. So I used a bank account of my dad's company. They go nuts because they receive the money. You buy tires, ship them out, get the balance, keep the profit. And, yeah, it was just a rush. 17-year fly by in a minute. Really did. Yeah.
well, I love the background. I love the family story. I love the connection. Obviously, it's really cool. What just a follow up question to that. Curious about with so many different brands of tires that are out there, like what
Yeah.
makes Magna Tire stand out from the crowd, or what differentiates your tire from the others?
There's a few things. The simple philosophy that I had from the day one is we make a difference. So we try to make a difference for the client, and it's not that difficult because there's more to market than major brands. So yeah, so there's disturbing here. There's more to it than major brands. Just 1 second, excuse me. Sorry.
No problem. All good. All
No,
good.
but there's more to it than major brands. So, but a lot of people don't even know. So that's why we teach people that there's more alternatives in the market. In those days when I started, there was still the radialization. So like now, people say, okay, I can buy this product in Asia or in India or Sri Lanka, wherever they want to buy it. But people forget that it's only developed in the last 15 years. We were on the fundament of that development. So what we do is, we give we don't pretend to be first-tier supplier because we can never be. That needs 100-year heritage. Maybe, well, we're probably not going to make that, but the company does, but we're not. But if your competitors exist 125 years or 100 years that invented the tire, yeah, and that's a way that takes so much time. So what could you do then? Be the alternative, and that's what we are. It all comes down to cost per hour ratings. So all the clients that are there in the world, all the contractors, construction companies, and so on. It starts with a price, and it starts with operation costs. If we can give you a product that performs 85 to 105% major brand, which costs 65 to 75% of the major brand, you get a 15% hour saving. So, and that's massive numbers. So if you could prove that in the field, that's the only way to grow. So, and our tires can fail. We never hide it. And there's always an issue here and there in the world. If you sell 150,000 earth moving tires, yeah, there's always a tire that could fail. But we never walk away from our responsibilities. So, keep with the client, build it together, and work forward. So there's not a no answer. So
Love
we
it.
always answer.
Well, speaking of product and innovation, what changes have happened, or what's happening with tires? You talk about the history of
Mhm.
tires, and I understand operational excellence and things of that nature, but with changes, in the market and machines, and whatnot that are going on, what kind of
Mhm.
R&D and innovation is coming with tires that we should be aware of?
Yeah, well, I don't have all the answers for you in that matter because
That's
I'm not a
okay.
technician. I'm a commercial guy. So,
Yeah. All
but
good.
most of it is common sense, in my opinion. So I mean, you can make
Sure.
it very difficult, but as I said, the day that I started, they made 17.5 till 29.5 tires. So it's from your small cat loader or Volvo loader or whatever loader you have. Let's say American cat loader you have, yeah, till cat 980, so 29.5. You know that's still the bread and butter. That's
Yeah.
75% of the market.
Hmm.
Still the oldest tire that are in the market. So even if you are a major brand, they still have the same products as the day when I started. And we still have the same products when we started. And it's still the best selling products, the best performing products. So what is the innovation? The innovation is new machinery. And for new machinery needs new tires. What we have seen in the past and still today is that today there's differentiation because now it goes to clean energy, so you need to have electric machines or hybrid machines which have different need for different tires. But in the past, for construction or like if you go closer to mining or quarries, machines get only bigger and bigger and bigger because they want to move more dirt. Um, Tires need to be lighter, less fuel consumption, less footprint, less machine. But if we go to electric machines, all that story goes in the dust in the garbage bin, in my opinion, because there's no CO2 anymore. There's no petrol that's being used because you have wrong tires. So I still think that there is a lot of innovation in the entire product, huge. But it depends, of course, for which market, which product, which machinery. So yeah.
Obviously, this is the Dirt World podcast, so we're talking about heavy civil construction and whatnot. But just from a market segment standpoint, the tires that you're providing. Talk to me a little bit about the segments that you're operating in and what parts of the world that you're in.
Yeah, well, we're operating in more than 140 countries, global. Could be 139, could be 141, but give or take, 140 countries. And, we supply in a few segments tires. So we only make tires for heavy industries. That's our specialization from the first day we started, because that's the only way we could make a difference in the car tire. Also, it's different world. And so we developed it, and in this particular business, we supply tires for port industry, construction, and mining. So construction, then you can also divide in industrial, but that goes close to port again. So it's all connected. So you have construction from construction companies, but road construction, quarries, contractors. So there's always it's all connected. Yeah, there's an overlay from port business to construction companies, from construction to mining to quarries. So we supply in all these segments. That's where we can make a difference. We also make TBR products, which is also complementary for construction companies, for the ready mix companies. These products we sell also worldwide, but predominantly in America, Australia, and Africa. We're launching these products also in Europe, but there's different sizes. So it requires different patterns for each part of the world. So what we try to do is we just make the products that are needed by the clientele that we have. So we don't make because somebody else has a portfolio. We make what we can sell. We're a sales-driven organization. We're a private organization. We are actually one of the few private enterprises in this business globally, actually. The rest is all corporate. So, in terms of products, there's still a lot of variety. It doesn't mean that we only make 6 different tires or something. It's still a couple of hundred.
Sure.
But, you can determine that in different sizes and patterns. So.
Yeah, and in those industries we work together with several kind of customers, from OEM dealer till the end user itself. So major ports regarding port handling applications, of course. So we have some very good relations with major ports in the world or port organizations, and especially the OEM part is growing, just as fast as the company is growing. So regarding port handling equipment, the number of OEM partners is growing pretty well.
Very good.
Dominantly, products are being sold through dealerships, exclusive distribution. So our product is not available. It's the first thing we did since I started, is it's not available for brokers. So, I mean, there's always a possibility that a few tires end up here and there. Somebody buys a package from a dealer or so. But our products are only available in distribution networks. So we only sell, because we don't install products, we're a tire manufacturer. So we distribute to dealers or exclusive distributors or own offices. So in countries where we cannot find partners, because it's a mature market, and every dealer has 100 brands to sell, which brand are they going to sell? Yeah, so most of the time it's the brand with the biggest footprint at the dealer or the distributor, or they own them. So, we sell to dealerships and own offices globally. Yeah, still expanding.
That makes a lot of sense. I just want to double back to a statement that you made. I think it's really profound. You said, "We make what we can sell." That's a
Yes.
true business
Always,
person right
always
there.
has been, always will be. There's nothing to hide. We're a cash flow oriented company, so we don't work for free.
Yeah.
Some people ask for free tires, but we can help them prove that the tire will work and will generate money for them in the long run. But been there, done that. So yeah.
That's something as you've talked about this, I feel this real problem solution mindset that you have as
Oh,
well.
we try,
Yeah.
because people don't know, you think there's, I'm not mentioning other brands' names in this podcast, but
Sure.
no, but it's, but people don't know because they only are, if you're using a certain brand for like 20 years, then that's all you know. It doesn't mean that there's not a better product or cheaper product. In America also it's price driven. Everybody wants discount, discount. So it's difficult because if you want to deliver quality, then I need to give a lot of discount, then I can't make my quality. So
Yeah.
you need to find a balance there,
Right.
and I think that's what we can do good. And we're not always perfect. But, try to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
We help people.
So so I'll say this, when you think about businesses, there's challenges, there's risk. You've talked about some, but every industry has its own set of challenges. I guess
Yes.
my question is, what keeps you up at night when you're thinking about, Magna Tires and its position in the marketplace?
Keeps you up at night. I mean, you ask me for hobbies. I have more hobbies than only working, of course. But I mean, that's not awesome. But, it's so super excited. So yeah, do you wake up sometimes in the night? Yeah, well, yeah, for my kids. But but no, I don't have too much on my mind these days that I wake up at night. But it sounds maybe strange, but I always think under the shower. You can ask Nick in my speeches at the end of the year. So I was standing under the shower and thinking, hey, and so that's where I think about a few of these things. And yeah, there's always room for new things and innovation. But we're excited in building our business to an $800 million company in the next 3 years. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that wakes if something wakes me up at night, then that's in a positive way.
Yeah, that's really good.
We want to make a difference in this world. We need to be a big firm. So for me, it's big, but in our world, well, construction companies and mining companies and quarries and contractors. I mean, their machine parks are sometimes more valuable than our turnover. So what's big? America's big.
Well, we're excited to partner up with you and have you, part of our ecosystem and conversation and talking here on the Dirt World podcast. Nick, let's talk a little bit about people and culture, within your organization. I'm not even sure how many people you have now, but what if you could describe the culture at your organization? What does that sound like and look like?
Yeah, it's what it is. It's a very open culture. If you look at the main of the head office over here, everybody is going to each other, eating together with each other. laughing, making jokes, but we work together to hit the target. And you know what is? We are a family-owned company still, and the decisions can be made very fast. So if you want to do something, the power of making decisions is pretty easy. So yeah, for that's still why I'm working at this company, and we see a lot things happening in positive way. I don't know how much people do we have right now, Michael, because we're growing so fast.
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so
What was that number again?
It's more than 1,000, so give or take
Yeah.
a direction of 1,100 people. But we try to
Love it.
maintain, to jump on what Nick said. My philosophy, besides on the commercial aspect, but on the internal aspect. My family business was a top-down planned company. That's why I never worked there. So I started my business in a flat organization. I tried to be as flat as possible because you have short lines, quick decisions. I mean, there is some hierarchy, has to, because there's more people joining and we're acquiring companies. So, but it's all, our CFO calls it always nice. It's all speedboats. Yeah, and they need to keep going. So
yep,
that's what we try to do. So how can you do that? Making short lines. If somebody asks a quotation, you get it in a minute.
yep,
We don't need 7 signatures to give you a quotation. If you want a discount, you just ask. And if the people can't make the decision, that's the calls I get, even from all our employees over the world. Like, can we do this? Can we do that? Yes. If it's a good Tuesday, maybe yes, and maybe
yeah.
no.
We're
But
always on.
at
We're
least you get an
always on.
Nick said, it's also in all our marketing slogans right now. We're always on. You can always call us. You can always make a decision. So flat organization. We treat good for our people, as far as I can say. In our head office, we have restaurants, we have a gym. We have some kind of subsidized. Yeah, well, it's Holland, so we have bikes. Everybody rides
Yep,
bikes. People can buy bikes through our company. So for all the personnel, but in Australia, we have, for example, we have different support for our employees in Africa as well, and America as well, and Eastern Europe also. So, but everything maintains the same. We try to be as we are. We do it different. We just do it different. We're not a corporate company, and we try to stay away from that corporate image as long as we can. I don't know how long, but but we're doing well. So at this level where we at now, for some people, company gets bigger, so there's people that I never met. So that gives me a feeling we go in a corporate direction. We can't just not meet everybody in the group, but in operational side, it's flat and short lines. So there's some managers, but we have open structures. Doors are always open. If they're closed,
yep.
there's a meeting.
Yeah. Hearing that is very refreshing. It feels
Only.
like,
For us, it's normal.
Try to work for
yeah.
us.
But I also think for a lot of our listeners, like I think you're going to make them pause and stop and think about, what is our leadership style? What is our business style? What is our culture like? What is it? Are we
Well, there's
flat? Are we
people that
vertical?
there's people that disagree with us by the way we operate, but we're actually pretty good. So, is it wrong or is it right? Nobody has the real answer, but we keep going this way because it works. It really, really works. It makes
Yeah,
people happy.
find it out
Yeah,
yourself, eh?
yeah.
We can say to the
Yeah.
listeners.
And of course we have also people leaving us because it's the same as everywhere else. But you want to provide the people as good as possible in terms of your organization. So yeah.
We talk a little bit about marketing and you talk about your growth. What's the vision look like for how you're going to go from 3 to 800? And, are you going to leverage, marketing, technology, communications? Like, what is it that's going to really get you, to
I
that
want to
next
say one
level?
word. There's 2 words. It's called vertical integration. That's what we're going to do. So we exist from vertical integration, and we do the next step. So as I said, we supply to dealers, retailers, or own offices. So what we do is we're setting up more own offices where if we can get foot on the ground through a dealership, And otherwise, we're acquiring dealerships, which we have done in Australia, we have done in Eastern Europe, in Poland, we have done in Germany, we have done in South Africa, and we will do it also in America. So we will do it in other countries as well.
Very good.
These things take time. What we do is, if for example, if like in Australia, we buy a company that never sold our product. So what people would say, so why did you buy that company? Because they sell other brands. So that's the thing, because they go to the end user. So now we have production, distribution, retail, end user. That's the full chain. And that's what we want to have, because then we don't need to negotiate. We're selling it to the dealer because we own the dealer. And in the customer base, the customer cannot only buy Magna because we don't have all the products. And for some machines you just don't, you just buy another brand. So what we do is we acquire these companies, we maintain everything as it is. This is what people are always scared for. And I mean, and 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 uh, uh, and this is part of our buy and build strategy. So management stays on board a certain percentage. I mean, nothing changes, and we just add. Here's our portfolio. These are your new costs. This is the products you have. This is the marketing department we have. Yeah, this is the R&D we have. Uh, yeah, the scanners you walk in. So a dealer becomes a producer,
Makes
and
sense.
change their world. That's the vertical integration. And what you can do then is they decide how much Magna they're going to sell besides the products they do. And that answer is, based on the history we have now, is a lot. So, yeah, which gives us all the business. And we can get quicker market share. So, we started with that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And we acquired 4 companies. And I think in the next 2, 3 years, we have a target of 226. 600-700 million euros, give or take $800 million. Yeah, the way to 100 million is a long, long, devastating way. It seems like you're never, ever gonna reach it. We are not a .com story. For us, all the products we sell, they're real. It's heavy product, it's physically moving product. So, if you do 100 million sales, you need to physically move a lot of products. So, but from then to 200 or to 300, it actually happens in 12 months. So what happens there? So I mean, in 2 years' time, you triple. Now the way to 800 million, yeah, I guess it will take 2 years, 3 years. Yeah. So, and the part of that is acquiring, buy and build. If you buy we buy family businesses, same like us, speak the same philosophy. Disregard if they're selling different products, but um, we got nothing to hide. We're a transparent family business. It is what you get. So this is it. And, we do it together. We make one big ride to become the biggest second-tier earth-moving and construction tire supplier in the world.
I believe in you. I believe in you, man. I love it. I love the entrepreneurial spirit. I love the culture. I love the leadership philosophy. I love the vision, operational excellence, focusing on the customer. So many great things that you're doing. Your business is remarkably successful and will continue to be. So job well done. And that's super cool. As we transition, just a couple stats for you for what's going on in the U.S. And I realize that this has kind of been a global conversation, but as we're focused here in the U.S., one of the things that we've been dealing with here, and you can maybe give me some light on this globally, is by the year 2031, 40% of the construction industry is going to retire. And, right now we need about 500,000 net new people coming into the industry every single year for the next decade plus. And so, uniting around leadership and workforce development is something that is really important to the construction industry and something that we're trying to help companies attract new people, hire them, train them, and engage them in what we call that people life cycle. So shed some light, on how things are going with Magna Tire in regards to the people, or any thoughts or ideas that you've got around workforce development.
Yeah. The first thing I can say, it's everywhere the same in the world, believe me.
Okay.
When people get older, I mean, the new generation has different interests. So, it's hard to find the right people for the right job. And yeah, America is a big company, but there's more older people than younger people. Yeah, that problem is everywhere. What could you do? Yeah, I don't have the only answer for that. I wish, but we're hands-on, so we try to innovate in that matter as well. Our HR departments try to attract people, and what we just previously said in this podcast, by the amenities we have in our group. People need to be willing to work. So yeah, I mean, I think that the motivation for some, yeah, I'm not saying everybody, but for a new generation, younger people, I have a 20-year at home too. I mean, they think different, So what's the right path, and how do you get people motivated and bring them to business, disregarding Tyres construction or mining, or uh, it's difficult. I think a big part for that is need to be done by the governments. In your case, American government. In our case, European Union. Yeah, they have other things on their mind mainly, but I think this should be a good focus. Because yeah, as you said, which year you said, that's 10 years from now, not even like 8 years from now. How many people would retire?
By the year 2031, 40% of the construction industry is retiring. So it's significant. You've got, millions of people that are retiring.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
attracting this next generation, is going to be something that is everyone. And that's one of the reasons why we're trying to really
ah,
unite all of the industries,
yeah,
to say, hey, this is not asphalt. This is not concrete. This is not manufacturing. This is not an OEM.
yeah,
This is everyone's problem, right? Like
yeah.
this is a huge opportunity
I
for all of
see.
us.
Kids, yeah, not kids, not the right word, but younger people, so to speak. I mean, I'm getting old also. But no, I was excited when I was 26 to start this business. I mean, not everybody gets it warm from a tire or from a big machine. I do, but you probably
Yeah.
do, and Nick does, but not everybody. And I think with the new generation, with Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, everything becomes transparent. Everybody's looking for the ideal life. It doesn't exist. You make what you get, and you get what you make. So and uh, I always say, why I like this business personally, because you're working on the fundamentals of life. Everything we sit in, if you look in your room at home, everything comes out of the ground. So people forget, you know, and all these things that come out of the ground, this is in our clientele, So is that excited? Yes, that is excited. Everybody has a phone. Lithium comes out of the ground. Your phone is 90% lithium. All the new electric cars or machinery, it's all lithium. So, yeah, is that exciting? Yeah, I think, because, it needs to be digged from the ground, and that whole supply chain to get it out of the ground, to get it in your iPhone or Samsung or whatever the phone is called, that's a long way, that process. And there's a lot of people involved there. I think maybe industry should make it transparenter to new generation how things are made. Discovery is good. And I always used to look at Discovery and National Geographic when I was younger, and learn a lot about it. You know, but yeah, you need to have an affection with something that you see there. So, and I think that a lot of new generation doesn't even know what excites them besides the Lamborghini or something.
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah,
think I think that's really, really interesting. And Build Wit's trying to shed a light on that. Aaron Witt's running around all over the
yeah,
globe and telling
yeah,
stories, and he's got incredible YouTube and social
yeah,
media, which is great because it's raising the awareness. I think that as more companies start to join in and do the same, whether it's their website or their social or their
yeah,
storytelling, that transparency and the impact that this industry has on society and really on their daily lives, as you've clearly described. You know, the food,
Primary
water,
need. It's a primary business. We need it.
100%.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah,
need it. And I think that in the perception of the new generation, that's not there when they don't care, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just knowing that
I
you have
don't
a
care. It's
chance to
not,
make.
maybe it's too exaggerated, but you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
you got
different
a
going on.
chance to make a difference for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, as we start to kind of wrap up, any last thoughts or ideas that you've got?
Well, I got many ideas, but not all related to this podcast.
Much easier when it's just Q&A, man. I tell you,
Yeah.
I am so I love your business philosophy. I love what you guys are doing. Super excited to be talking and working with you guys. I think that you have a bright future, and our industry is much brighter because you're in it. Very, very excited to work with you guys moving forward. So, you know, Nick and Michael, thank you for joining us on the Dirt World podcast. Super grateful for your support at the Area Dirt World Summit and all that you're doing to make the dirt world a better place. You can learn more about Magna Tyres at magnatires.com. That's MAGNATYRES.com. Or you can find them on many of the social media platforms. To learn more about BuildWit, you can visit us at buildwit.com. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep leading in the dirt world, building people, projects, and communities. Nick, Michael, man, great job. That was incredible.